Want to know how to calculate the volume of anything from a metal rod to a stone? Stick around and let's explore how to measure volume of regular solids, irregular solids, and liquid substances with easy-to-follow methods. Volume is the amount of space occupied by an object. There are three main methods of calculating the volume of substances in physics and chemistry. The method is based on the shape and nature of the substance. Regular objects such as wooden blocks and metal rods are calculated using a mathematical formula. Irregular objects such as stones are calculated using a displacement method. A cylinder calculates the volume of liquid substances. Let's start with the first method. How to measure the volume of regular objects. Many are times in physics and chemistry when you are required to calculate the volume of rectangular objects such as rectangular metal blocks, wood, or rock, or cylindrical objects such as cylindrical metal rods or instruments. Calculating the volume of these objects is simple. Just find and use a formula. The formula for calculating the rectangular objects is volume is equal to length times breadth times height, or simply L times B times H. For example, given a metal block 7 centimeters long, 4 centimeters broad, and 2 centimeters high, find its volume. Volume is equal to L times B times H. The length is 7 centimeters, breadth is 4 centimeters, and height is 2 centimeters. 7 times 4 times 2 gives 56 centimeters cubed as the volume of the metal block. Here's a quick challenge. Can you calculate the volume of a rectangular block that's 10 centimeters long, 5 centimeters wide, and 3 centimeters high? Leave your answer in the comments below. Let's see who gets it right. The formula for calculating cylindrical object is volume is equal to pi times radius squared times height, or simply pi r squared h. Note that pi is equal to 3.142. Let's consider an example. Given this metal rod, the radius is 4 centimeters and height is 9 centimeters. Find its volume. Volume is equal to pi r squared h. Pi is 3.142. The radius is 4 centimeters, and height is 9 centimeters. 3.142 times 4 squared times 9 gives 452.4 centimeters cubed as the volume of the metal rod. Now the volume of irregular objects. At times you may be required to measure the volume of irregular objects such as a stone. The displacement method is used to measure the volume of irregular objects. The steps involved in the displacement method include: first, put water in a cylinder and take the initial volume. Second, lower an object in a cylinder and take the final volume. Finally, calculate the difference between the final reading and the initial reading. The volume of an object is equal to the volume of water displaced. This is written as volume of an object is equal to final volume minus initial volume. For instance, a stone was immersed in water. If the initial volume is 12 centimeters cubed and the final volume is 23 centimeters cubed, what is the volume of the stone? The volume of the stone is equal to final volume minus initial volume. The final volume is 23 and the initial volume is 12. 23 minus 12 gives 11 centimeters cubed as the volume of water displaced. So the volume of the stone is 11 centimeters cubed. Did you know that the volume of a stone can actually tell you something about its density? The more water it displaces, the denser it is. Finally, the volume of liquid substances. The volume of liquid substances is measured by the measuring cylinder. The steps involved in measuring the liquid substances include: first, check that the measuring cylinder is on a flat surface. Second, pour the liquid to be measured into the cylinder. Then, read the scale at the meniscus. Liquid substances display two types of menisci: concave meniscus and convex meniscus. Substances such as water display a concave meniscus, while substances such as mercury display a convex meniscus. For the concave meniscus, read a volume from the bottom of the meniscus. For the convex meniscus, read a volume from the top of the meniscus. To recap, volume is the amount of space occupied by an object. The volume of substances is measured based on the shape and nature of the substance. The volume of regular objects such as wooden blocks and metal rods is calculated using a mathematical formula. The volume of irregular objects such as stones is calculated using a displacement method. The volume of liquid substances is calculated by a cylinder. Now that you've mastered how to calculate the volume of solids and liquids, in the next video we'll cover how to calculate the density of a substance. Stay tuned, stay curious.